Monster kill!
Battle begins.
To be, of course, it's just complete tradition for us. Looks like we will be getting underway rather soon. So very, very excited to see what changes in this patch. I mean, John, I don't think I have to talk about it. I think everyone's heard about it by now, but the cart on Centaur. I mean, we don't get to see it this game, but I love it. I love it.
Yeah, I'm wondering if we'll ever see those weird interactions when you put the Centaur away from the map and just start flying through. I don't think we'll ever see that. Centaur Ags is pretty expensive, but hey, who knows down the line if we get a game like that. Still a little bit of poking and prodding already down mid.
Why the hell not? Who are they going for though? Stormer already in a bit of trouble. Puppey just rushing forward. The tier 1 tower, Stormer getting caught out very early on. Secret already securing first blood here for Puppey on the Ogre. Not sure how he got there, but I imagine it was a spear back.
He was walking up the ramp, and then he got speared back. He was trying to check for wards, gets punished. Nice little start for Secret already, and they're going to posture now, going for that rune up top. You can see that in the replay right there.
Oh, there it is, yeah. Nisha, very nice spear, just kind of preemptively expecting the Ember to make his way up, and well, there you go. Punishment immediately from Stormer. Of course, there could be another fight to break out, though. Pure and Kataomi need to be very careful here. Secret, high ground advantage is Pure. He doesn't know. They missed the spear, however. Maybe that'll allow Pure to get out of this, but not quite. Slow from the mine a bit too much, I think, as Pure's going to drop now in Secret. Are they done yet? It looks like they want to try and back their way out as Entity. Going to try and punish at least Zayats. Soul Assumption, though, not going to be quite enough, and Kataomi, he's got to get within range for that Stormhammer, but Zayats, he's going for the deny out. It's going to be enough. Oh, just barely. Imagine that.
Yeah, that's pretty painful for this fan. That's a lot of mana. He's out of spellcast now. Gets the right timing just to walk in there, deny himself off.
Puppey's going at it now. Here we go. Toby, he's trying to get some damage out onto Puppey. Chrysalis shows up, however, Secret. They might find a third kill already, Jonathan. Oh, this is classic SEA Dota. Look at that.
It does look like Secrets. You know, they're feeling that vibe here in Malaysia, playing really aggressive early on. 3-0 start. This is already a very terrible start for NT, especially with Kataomi, again, out of mana. Like, you only have so much in that Sven. He used his Stormhammer twice. He does have enough for one more spell cast, but it's going to be a bit slower for NT on that offlane now.
Certainly will be, John. A great start already, very hype kind of start here from Secret, and actually having that very slight net worth advantage early on. We're looking at this mid lane, of course, the Ember vs Mars matchup, and Mars, I believe, got a few changes himself here in this mid lane. John, do you find that the Mars should have the advantage over the Ember in this mid matchup, or does it go the other way?
I think it's rather even. You can kind of poke and prod a lot better with the lower mana cost that the Mars has with the Spear. So you should be able to manage that lane fairly well. Stormer is going to have a little bit more play once he hits level 3. That's a little bit more down the line, maybe level 4. The runes do feel slightly more important for the Ember, though. He's much more reliant on that, especially as he approaches his level 6 mark.
You know, the funny thing is as well, we're having a look at Zayats on this Techies, and Techies to me, John, although the win rate didn't really show it, it is already a very strong hero, especially during the laning stage. You hit level 3. In fact, never mind that, because Stormer going to get taken out by Nisha pretty much solo in this mid lane once again. Pretty detrimental here to the side of Entity, losing their mid laner a second time already, but you've got to be very happy if you're Nisha.
Yeah, it's just so much more spammable, looking for the aggression on the Spear. With that lessened mana cost, you just get more efficient with your trades, and that is something Stormer is going to have to watch out for. You can just see how confident Nisha is. Throwing that out, looking for the land. Even if it doesn't land, it's a good bit of harassment.
Dive for the... Ooh, maybe not. Taomi going to be able to just kind of juke in the tree line. Puppey not wanting to dive quite yet, but will force the Sven to just walk all the way back to the fountain anyway. Perhaps Taomi for now just going to stick around. Back to the Techies point I was trying to make, John. Techies, it already feels like a pretty strong hero as is. You hit that level 3 mark with the Q, it's just so much damage. The fact that they buff the slow on his Q, it's kind of ridiculous if you ask me.
It becomes really easy to chase heroes down. You do have good saves coming out from NT. You've always got the Nightmare to play with on Fishman. Can kind of set up for the hooks down the line, although Pure is just going for the Rot and the Flesh Heap playing the lane. So you're not really looking to get aggressive. It's a pretty hard lane to manage as a melee hero up against a Tide. Resolution should have a decent enough time just finding that farm, and that is something that they've got to worry about it a bit on Entity. Again, their draft is much more suited for the last patch.
Oh, there goes Pure. That's slow. Like, you got the Gush, you got the Mine, and it's just way too much to deal with. Resolution, he'll take his first kill of the game here on the Tide, and Entity 5-0 now. They are 5 kills behind, 1k net worth behind, and Fishman, he's not safe either. Nightmare will be there. Gonna be okay because the techie's not quite around to help out. Fishman will survive. While Secret, though, not looking to really slow down here. And that aggression all across the map here, across these lanes. He's gonna have to play a bit of a slower game until they hit their spikes, at least in this.
And Secret's just finding everything. Like, every lane's winning out. They're finding all the CS. They're finding the aggression. They're ensuring that Entity supports can't really do much. Like, you look at Kataomi on the Sven, and he's back with full mana. He's got a Mango. He's got a Clarity, but he can't really do much with a stun. He can't really be aggressive. Crystallis is just getting all the space he wants. Puppy's cutting him off, and, you know, this TA is just farming way too fast. When you have that Visage, you want to take over that lane. Not quite shaping up just yet for Toby.
You're not. TA, right? Like, you have a good lane, you go into the jungle, you disappear for 10 minutes, and suddenly you're taking Roshan with the Deso, Blink, and BKB, and problems start to happen for the enemy, that's for sure. Still, 5-0 once again, very slight net worth lead the way of Secret. The action has slowed down just a little bit, but it seems top lane, they might be a bit more Fishman aggressive. Like, Rezo didn't really have the mana for the Gush, so won't bother trying. Even as the Bane, though, it's quite hard to go up against his techies, John. Like, high base armor, so much damage. It's just not easy.
You don't really find the angles. And again, because of pure skill build, you're not playing with Nightmare setup. You just want to farm on this Pudge, try to get that early Vanguard, get that early durability. But Resolution's just always going to trade better with that Anchor. So it's just slower up top, slower everywhere here for Entity so far.
Taomi chased down. Crystallis was trying to join in, but the stun duration just not quite long enough there from Puppy, so back to the lane for him. You kind of mentioned this already though, the support Sven just not having the impact so far that you'd hope for in the laning stage, and a very rough start for Entity. Already kind of had a rough start in their previous series, John, of course. Secret, not so much. Dropping one game thus far throughout the group stages again. Very, very strong, kind of proving they deserve to be at these lands regardless of the rankings at the moment. Pure. Top lane, going to be slowed up quite a lot here. There will be the silence out as well with the blast off, and well, this Pudge dropping very low, but not quite low enough to take taken down. Fishman going to show up with the Nightmare as well, but the hook block is going to be there from the Tide to make sure Zayat's not going to take it. Oh, that's a great hook though, Pure! He still finds the angle, but he's going to drop for it. In fact, Fishman, he's trying to secure the kill, but he'll get nothing. Zayat's barely able to survive through it. Oh, you've got to be hurting if you're Pure. Mid lane, they find the Ember as well. Puppy setting up perfectly, so Nisha is right for the Arena Spear combination. 7-0 now, Jonathan.
It's an overwhelming start from Secret. Entity is that with those small camps gone, this recovery for the Ember, or at least going in and out of that lane, is a lot tougher. Big level advantage coming out now for Nisha. Level 6 just gets a great Arena, and basically I'm not sure if he really fully calculated it. Going in and just setting up.
Did the math, John. Fishman gonna get taken down once again. Resolution able to pick up his third kill of the game, as now a hook is there onto Nisha, but I'm not sure that's exactly what you want if you're Pure. Meanwhile, Puppy does die first on the side of Secret. They do pick up their first kill of the game here. Happy days for them. It is only on the plus 5-0, but you've got to start somewhere.
It's something coming out for Entity. Again, you need to build up on the Visage. Finding that kill on Puppy at least helps you accelerate. It's pretty worrying when you do see your support Sven ahead of your offlane Visage. Still a slower start for Toby, and still pretty much free farm for
Oh, rotations. Puppy's here once again. Storm are going to be targeted. They've got the blast off silence once again onto the Ember, into the spear combination. Stormer, he'll remnant just barely. Does make his way out, and he's going to be just fine, but instead they'll go for Fishman. However, they miss the mine, so Fishman will be able to run his way out. Nice spear though, Nisha. Abe just set up perfectly onto Fishman. He'll go for the Nightmare, but he is going to drop. Here comes Kataomi. They'll try to at least find Nisha, but look at this Giga Chat, John. Nisha's going to man up. The Sven doesn't have the damage, and now the Arena. Well, we'll call that a zoning arena, John. It's a zoning arena.
Zoning arena does save him, but he was looking for that kill opportunity. Still good back and forth from Secret. Nisha's still hanging around here, though.
Certainly is. Nisha still wanting to go at it, just really playing on the edges. The Stormhammer does connect. Kataomi, he been baited once again? Puppy just going to keep moving in. Zayat, he's there with the blast of the Slider Fist. It doesn't land. They got a regen. They'll go right back in. Nisha able to take Kataomi's life. It just hurts to watch, John. It really does.
Yeah, I mean, nothing lines up for Entity. They get a little bit too greedy trying to go in with Kataomi. You get a regen on Nisha. I mean, even the game's working against you.
A Remnant back right into a spear from Nisha. Just no hesitation from this Mars. Great performance already here from the mid Marses. Well, Fishman still hanging around there, but I just don't know what you can do as the Bane. They might have to just try and scout out what Nisha's up to. Just connect onto Fishman. Nightmare is there as well. Fishman gonna go for a run, but Nisha gonna be right behind him and should have enough damage to finish the job off. Meanwhile, Zayat still fighting here against the Ember with the disarm. Gonna save the day is now bot lane. Crystallis in a bit of danger. Karaomi and Toby trying to chase through the tree line, but just can't quite get it done as now Crystallis. He'll turn back in onto the Sven. Maybe a trap to slow this Sven down, but oh, he just fine this time around. 11-2 now with the 2k net worth advantage the wave secret.
And this is worrying. Crystallis still has fairly free lane. He gets jumped on, isn't in any danger of dying at level 8 in that TA. And the Dragon Lance is almost done. Buff to the attack range is pretty nice. The build-up's a bit more awkward. They play on edge here on Secret.
Lives on, what, 38 HP there, I believe? Last off was, I mean, it's just Nisha, just so confident. The sleight of fist wasn't in range. Gets a regen, just turns it. Look at that, John, right on the edge. Meanwhile, Nisha, they'll find Fishman once again. It'll be the 4th kill of the game for the Mars. Just no slowing down here for Secret.
They're just getting everything on the map while buying space for their TA and putting a lot of pressure on Pure. This Pudge is just not farming. He's in the jungle now. Bit of a slower start. Does have a casual cloak up, so he's got some durability on hand. But there's no hero that's really playing on Entity. You need some more farm on your Ember. You need farm on your Pudge. Stormstorm is trying to run.
No!
Oh, man.
Oh, he was right on the edge. He had a double damage, and it still wasn't enough. Puppy gets the denial for the neutral creeps, and well, Stormstormer, he'll try for Zayat. Sleight of Fists are landing, but the double damage is going to wear off, and now the turnaround with the mines and the blast off. It's incoming. Nice Remnant away, though. Barely getting away before that silence connects is now Pure. Going to go after Rezo. Member will not last long as the Ravage. Going to be committed immediately onto that Pos 1 Pudge and take him out. Meanwhile, mid lane, though, Nisha in trouble, but stick charges are there. He's going to potentially survive this, but no, the Bane is out. They'll be able to at least find Nisha. Zayat, they'll go for a run. Omi going to keep the chase going, but it looks like the Techies is going to be just fine. But Entity, they find that mid-Mars. A lot of gold to go their way, and they should be happy about that.
And they managed to get a big kill, and something they need to help Stormstormer kind of accelerate as he is around the EAU. They're going to have a hero that they can play behind of now, or at least play with and get aggressive with while buying space for these 2 other cores on the Visit Pudge until they're ready. It's a pretty big kill. Nisha's worth a lot, and it is important to find. They're still trying to clump around mid here, though.
They are. Strack, those items up. They're not at that power spike yet here, fans. Sure. Very relaxed, though. You've got the TA, and Crystallis obviously farming very, very well right now, just in the jungle for a while, John. And again, come out eventually with a Deso Blink and probably BKB, and you're in trouble. Entity, though, don't want to see that happen, so they're going to smoke up and head down south. They might run right into the TA. Crystallis going back towards that bottom T1 tower. The courier is going to give the info as to where he is, as Crystallis now will show up. Remnants 4, they want the kill. Chains are out, high fives there as well, but Crystallis, he's not down yet. In comes Nisha, stuns are there though. They'll lock him down, but where's the detection? Where's the detection? They've got no dust available. The meld will save the day for Crystallis. Oh, high fives. They went up a bit too early, I think. Hands are down here for Entity. Stormstormer, he'll try to run, but he's got no remnants available. He's been trapped up in the tree line. In fact, never mind. There was one there. Nightmare out as well onto the Gush, so Rezo can't quite finish the job off. They'll get Stormstormer out, but in the meantime, Puppy somehow ends up killing off Pure.
And they get a kill across the map. Entity's so tied in down bot, they couldn't TP out to help their core Pudge, and they don't find the TA kill. Like this Lance of Pursuit on Crystallis is kind of dumb on TA. Like, the spill damage to slow when they're turning away from you with the meld and the spillover from the side blades, you can't actually run. It's a 6% slow. It doesn't sound like much, but it does stack up.
Certainly does, John. Very fun whatsoever here. Again, having a very nice time so far farming. In fact, everyone on Secret, just all 3 cores top of the net worth board right now, just having a fantastic time. And your Entity with this kind of visage graph, you are relying on hitting a nice power spike throughout the mid game, but the way things are going, it doesn't seem like they're going to quite hit that spike in time. At least Secret will be ready to try and address that spike if it does come. Speaking of addressing it, they've got the blink up on Nisha now. The Mars has that great initiation to set up with. I imagine Secret, they might go for a smoke reveal here.
Big, if they could catch something like Pudge once more, if they can catch out Pure, or just stop Storm from building up. He's still trying to save up for that Maelstrom. Still a bit a ways off from getting that full item up, so the pacing's still a bit slower here for Ent being 3k behind. Secret's got all the momentum in the world. They haven't quite taken the key objectives just yet, though.
Yes, high fives were there from Stormstormer. A little bit preemptive there, Stormstormer. Chrysalis literally just pressed meld. Eventually he does. Stuns there.
There we go.
There we go. No detection. And that's why you buy dust, ladies and gentlemen. That's why you buy dust.
Yeah, I mean, it's a TA. To be fair, it was a very deep dive under the tower. I think they expected to just have that burst damage on hand, but it's not quite there. It does feel like you're going to need a lot more, Nisha.
Boy, able to get him out just in time, so the arena completely wasted, and now Entity. This might be the team fight they can actually take, but in they go. Ravage is there by Resolution, connecting onto two. They'll pop the Fiend Grip on the Mars, but it's going to do nothing. Nisha's still fine. Maybe they can take him out, though. Eventually they will. Toby, he's on a double. Not too bad of a team fight so far for Entity, but now Fishman going to be in danger. So will Zayats, however, as Stormstormer does move forward. In come the buybacks as well. The Bane going to rejoin the team fight as Zayats. Still going for a run, but Stormstormer will be on the chase as Fishman. What's he going to get done here in the Bane now? They take down the techies, but Fishman... Oh, he's going to die back right away. Still Chrysalis is also going to get caught out. Maybe the tieback's worth it here for the side of Entity as Rezo. He'll go for a run, but the chains are out from Stormstormer. Can they deal with the tide? Rezo, he's a tanky boy here, John, and he'll just run his way slowly but surely. Then they go Pure, gonna show up as well, and eventually they should have the damage, surely. Rezo not going anywhere. Spear out from Nisha. He'll die eventually.
Yeah, it's a big win for Entity this time. They managed to get their buybacks working for them. They get some good kills out. They get some activity out from Pure. That's his first 2 stacks of Flesh Heap here as well from that activity. And it's not enough to really turn the tides of the game, but it does give them more to play with. They narrow the gap to just 3k instead of 4k, but that will bounce around a bit. And punish Secret just a tad, although.
Nisha, he's going to be in to protect Puppey. Stun is there onto the spend, but Puppey's still probably not going to survive through this. He's trying to protect the Observer Ward that he did place on that cliff earlier, but will get punished immediately there. Naomi and Stormstormer. Suddenly Entity looked much stronger. Only a 2k advantage still standing here for Secret, and your Entity, considering the start of the game, you are looking very happy now. The Stormstormer, well, maybe he's not so happy, John, but a massive stun out. Zayats, he'll still go for the blast off. Vines will be there to slow him down, and eventually they will find the mid-ember. So never mind what I said, John. Entity probably not too happy anymore.
Yeah, Secret's just on top of them. They know the runes there. They commit. They ensure that Stormstormer's not going to have that bottle to play with. Try to get aggressive with haste, and they're kind of trying to get space back for Crystal. It's playing on the opposite side of the map. And again, they're slowing the tempo. The Ember, it feels like it's going to be the hero that Entity's going to have to turn to play around with.
Oh, Nisha. He's just so quick. The moment he sees you, there's just no hesitation for the spear back. Fishman will drop on the Bane, and now they want to try and move into that dire triangle and deny all that farm away from Pure. Meanwhile, Rezo still very confident on this tide, just so tanky as Nisha. He'll miss time to spear this time around, unable to get Stormstormer. A huge Ravage though, Rezo setting up for the blast off of Zayats. The Ember's in trouble again. The silence still going, but maybe he has time. No, he won't, Puppey. He'll get him with the Ignite. Oh, it's not a good team fight whatsoever. In fact, Pure can't even deal with the Ogre right now. Puppey's just running. In fact, Nisha, he'll make the jump in. Pure in trouble. Fishman is there with the Fiend Grip to hold Nisha down, so Pure going to be able to walk his way out. Kataomi able to secure Puppey, but now he'll drop. Pure still trying, but Resolution. He'll happily man fight this bunch if he has to. Eventually will back his way up, but Nisha right back in onto Fishman. Should have the Bane, and the blast off is there. Zayats moving right in onto the Pudge. They'll find another. Onto the Visage they go. Rezo will tank right through the tier 2 tower and Toby. And he'll go for the stone form, but chances are he's not making his way out of this one. He's gone.
Man, it just doesn't stop. Secret just keeps looking for these kills, keep running. 25 to 10, 35 kills in 18 minutes here, Mike. This new patch is just madness.
Oh, you gotta love it, Don. We love these kind of chaotic patches, and so far so good. Drops the valve on this one. Entity. AK behind now, like you mentioned, John. What do they need to do to try and come back into this game throughout the mid-game now?
They've got the Wraith pack already up in Toby. They tried to get some usefulness out of it. I think the big thing for Entity's playing around those cooldowns on Secret. Once they see that Ravage committed, get a quick retreat back, regroup, and play in that time period where Resolution's not able to get that control off.
It's a nice hook to dismember, but Nisha's going to be there to back Puppy up. Nisha just all across the map at Stormstormer and make sure they secure the Yoga kill. Just a +5 kill, but for Entity, it means more than what it is right now. They definitely need the golden XP. Secret, they'll sit back and just wait for Puppy to respawn, but Entity, and it's the farming game for them. They are quite behind at the moment.
You're about to hit some major spikes here, though, Mike. The Ags is slowly but surely coming out here for Pure. That was slightly nerfed. Rot radius isn't as big, but still highly effective. A great way to kind of deal with that TA, especially before the BKB's up. For Crystallis, you don't have that quick disassembly on the Dragonlance to kind of give you that faster BKB as well. So there's a period of time where if Pure can just find the angle, if they can play outside of that Ravage here from Secret, Entity should still be able to do something.
Rezo's got Ravage up in 8 seconds. Get started. Blast off is there. They've got the shards up. The Ember already taken down. They'll find Zayats and the techies, but it's not a good trade on Rezo. He's looking for that Ravage opportunity. When does he pop it, though? He'll go onto the Visage. Pure gonna try and help out Rezo. He still has the Ravage, just being very patient as Nisha now. We'll go for the spear back on Kataomi. Gonna be another to go down, and now the Ravage onto 3 heroes. Can they keep going, though? The Visage dropping very low. Toby barely gonna survive as Pure. He'll go for the hook onto Crystallis and try to go for the kill, but it's not quite enough. Crystallis, he'll make his way out. Fishman still trying, so is the Visage, but it doesn't look like a good team fight whatsoever. Crystallis, he'll finally drop, getting a little bit greedy there for the damage, so Toby, he'll get something for his trouble, but eventually it will cost his own life. Not the worst team fight for Entity, but also not the best.
Not quite the best. They get some value out. That's the Ags of Pure being used there, melting through Crystallis. Still no BKB on that TA, and again, build up now with Dragonlance changes longer, although.
In they go again. Onto the Ember this time around. The Familiars aren't there to help, and Stormstormer, he'll avoid the blast off just barely. The chains will be there to allow himself out, but Fishman, he will be the sacrifice here for Entity.
Yeah, it's better than losing Stormstormer. They are trying to play around. They see Ravages down. They try to get some punishment. Going onto the Tide is a bit tough, though.
Here we go. Rezo, he's a tanky boy, but Pure may be able to keep this one going. Let's have the hook up, but won't bother throwing it out. The creep wave was there to block. Now with a double damage up on Nisha, they're going to try for Roshan here, Secret. AK advantage is there. And in we go. Why the hell not? Oh, he sets up perfectly. Will it matter, though? They are still dropping on the side of Secret as Crystallis is going to drop to Pure. Entity somehow still making this one work as Puppy. Also going to get caught out, it seems, in Zayats. He's not out of danger yet either. Still trying to run on his techies. Might just make it out. But Entity still finding a way to force the team fight. And they win this one out.
They get that really well done, even with the mines coming off. Secret respond a bit too slow in the retreat. They didn't have Ravage. And the Ags up on Pure just does a lot of work. Even with the slight nerfs to the radius, it's still a massive amount of damage and burn to deal with that TA. Until that BKB is up in Crystallis, he's just not going to be safe in the middle of these fights. And he does switch his build. He was going for the blink, realizes probably not going to be able to blink around without that BKB anyway.
Yeah, because with the BKB, you can just kind of turn around and man-fight Pure every single time. Without it, you're kind of just screwed here to the rot damage of Pure, and at the very least still remaining within this game. Only 5k behind now. Secret, got to be very careful not to give the net worth lead back the way of the Dire. Joe, what a crazy game it's been already. 33-18. We've had 51 kills in 22.5 minutes.
Yeah, it's pretty maddening. Again, Secret's been aggressive. Entity's more than willing to fight back now as well. So it's a lot of back and forth. I think the one thing that's worrying is all these BKB times. It feels like it's going to be tougher for Secret to take these fights, especially once you have this BKB up on Stormstormer. Nothing to pierce through. You're not going to have a way of stopping that Ember from jumping around, and Stormstormer's been a big part of what's allowing Entity to kind of play around here, along with the prolonged fights kind of giving Toby more chances to just spam out that Soul Assumption. It was increased in mana cost, but it's not really affecting him all too much here.
post-game number 1, I want to say, is Secret. Go for another smoke up. Keep in mind, Roshan is still available here for either side, so Secret, they'd love a team fight into Roshan. And is there, though. Do scan the Roshan pit entity. They may not realize the smoke is happening right now. Wards it down for the Vision. Fishman already getting caught out here on the Bane. In they go with the Ravage. Once again, perfect from Resolution. Onto 3 targets. That'll be a Sven gone. Toby, he's going to try and survive through this, but there's no surviving. There's no helping coming. Toby will drop. 3 down for the side of Entity and Secret. Now they can safely take Roshan.
Got a clear angle into it. This does leave them without Ravage, but you don't have any major buybacks lined up for Entity. Toby's gone for a fairly long time, and Storm and Pure are just on the opposite side of the map. You're going to have that secondary life up. You're going to have insurance here for Crystallis or for Nisha if he wants, but they'll play it safe with the TA, as much more vulnerable right now without that BKB. Still a steady 7k lead coming out from Secret. 2 times the kills of Entity right now. 36 to 18. Feeling good for all the aggression.
Yeah, have a recap of that fight. Resolution so good with these GAtions, but I think it was Zayat who actually gets it started. They try to react, but Rezo's just way too quick. The way they're playing this, the synergy between the Secret players, it's just been spot on here, and all the timing's been perfect. See Toby, he just had no chance. There was no way to survive through it.
We have to remember now as well, we've got the Shard already up on Resolution. So even with Ravage down, it's not like the Tide can't fight.
Right, here we go. We'll see it here now, probably Rezo. He's going to try and go for a run. Pure, he's got the hand up. Ooh. There's your little Ravage coming up from Resolution. And he's fine. Mine's out, Pure. I don't know if he can get the job done here. Stormer, he'll move in. Arena down, they do get the Tide. Not a bad start here for Entity, but can they make their way? Pure for now going to be just fine. The Stormer. He'll
managed to make it work. They get some punishment onto Resolution. Takes a little bit longer, but it does work out in the end. They sacrifice Storm for it, but this is the point where you want Pure to kind of be the one taking some of these kills himself, soaking up some flesh heap stacks, and starting to become a menace on that push. The BKB has to come out soon for Storm, and he does have it up. Fresh BKB, wasn't there in the last fight. Shouldn't happen again for the Storm in that case, or for the Ember.
Know that they're around here, they deserve a ward off. Crit their way out. This is not the fight they want without their Tide. Titty be more than happy to retake their jungle for now. Secret still posturing aggressively though, looking like they want to force a fight with this Ravage up, and in we go. Rezo right onto Fishman. They want the Bane first. Fishman, he'll go for the Nightmare and walk his way out. Meanwhile, to the side, Puppy actually going to get caught out here by the Visage, so Pure and Toby able to secure the kill as Rezo still wants to go. They'll find Toby on that Visage. Beam Grip will be there, but the Ravage going to cancel off immediately as they find Fishman. Buyback is immediate though as Pure. He wants a team fight. They'll keep moving in. Dismember is there onto the TA, but the blast off Zayat. Not going to connect on anyone. The BKB was there in time from Pure. In goes Rezo, trying to run. Pure on the chase. Meanwhile, to the north, Crystallis. He's been caught out here. Stormer should have damage and eventually Crystallis, he'll keep fighting, but there's no chance. Go down. He's completely alone. Nisha, knowing he cannot help out his POS 1, will have to see him die on the high ground. He'll be the only survivor.
Getting a bit scary. Entities hitting their spikes, you know, they're ready to go on their Pudge. Storm is able to dance around with his BKB, which again wasn't there in the last fight, comes into massive play in this fight, and they just have so many ways of dealing with that spell immunity out from Secret with the Dismember, with the Grip. Secret has to make these weird choices where we were going to have to use Ravage before BKBs come up, we're going to have to use some of our big spells in an unideal scenario to just kind of make it work.
39 to 24, 3k advantage, 20.5 minutes in. I like this patch already, let me tell you, John. Very, very entertaining so far. Toby, back the way out before he does get caught out there by Rezo. Very confident in this game. Like, you've got Pure now top of the net worth board on that Pudge and really starting to hurt the side of Secret. 3k behind here on the dire end. Secret's certainly not out of this game yet, but any bad team fight and start knocking those tier 2 towers into the high ground, and of course don't forget Roshan will eventually respawn. Both teams going to be looking at that objective as well.
Going to be massive for both sides, and opening up the game a little bit more. Still really even with only a 3k lead for Secret, and Pure's managed to overtake now on net where it has the full Kai and Sanj up. Much more durable in the front lines here on the Pudge. And with 11 flesh heap stacks, he is not easy to kill off. So Secret, they've got to play around their cooldowns, but NTT's been doing a great job of playing against that.
Spear out. Nisha will catch Toby, but he's got the stone form there. It's now Toby just going to stun up Nisha. Not the greatest initiation. Secret looking for his Pure. Going to try for the hook, but can't land it. Secret, they'll successfully find their way out of this one. Meanwhile, mid lane, that Stormer going to be just fine. It's only Crystal showing up on the TA. They still have an opportunity to smoke up if they want to enforce a fight. They know Arena's down, but
Resolution if he does decide to show up in these fights. So you still have to watch for that one big team fight spell. Again, the BKBs kind of mitigate that risk. City will just take her time, keep building up. They're working onto that blink for Pure. It's going to allow him to really just lock in that TA when a BKB is up, and we've seen that be highly effective with his own BKB. Just have nothing to stop that dismember from Pure once he's just chowing down somewhere.
Talked about, John. Arena's still down, but like you mentioned, they've got to be worried about the blast off, about the Ravage. So detrimental to previous team fights, but again, if you can time those BKBs perfectly, you're not too concerned. And goes Pure into that Radiant Triangle for a hook opportunity. Might find Nisha. Smoke will break. They know someone's around there. They don't have the vision. Now from Fishman, they'll see Rezo. Hook. To be thrown out quite yet. In fact, they won't even try for it. Entity maybe just not willing to give away their position for now. Hoping someone else shows up in the mid lane, but seem like they're going to get their wish quite yet.
Just kind of camping around here on Entity. That's giving Secret the time to build up. It's a lot of space out for Crystallis. AFK farming down bot. And this is much more efficient coming out from Secret. You know, they hold back. They've got Arena back up if they want to play. They're slowly working into the refresh of Nisha here as well. Almost done on that. In fact, buys it out now. So double Arena's ready. Double Spear, double BKB. And that could give Secret the team fight they need. Once those BKBs start to fade away on Entity, the added control can make a big difference in these fights.
So, all ultis are up, ready to go. They'll smoke up immediately. Full advantage of it. They don't have all their ultimates up, but they've got the main ones up, and that's all that matters. Will be there. Large wraparound here from Secret, around the river. The long way back into that dire jungle. Off guard here, Entity have a high ground advantage, at least for now. In fact, Zayas, ooh, blast off is there. Zayas gonna make the jump in. Toby and Pure just gonna go right after him though. Trying to get some vision on that high ground and get a nice ward down, or work out for him though.
Fortunate position, trying to maybe look for a bit of a D-ward or just get some forward scouting for the team. Does get punished, but Secret don't lose too much else. They didn't pop Ravage, they didn't have to use that double Arena, so they still have tools under their belt. But it is space out for Entity. Take that mid-tier one. They kind of start to apply pressure on the bot jungle, you know, start to contest Crystallis where he's trying to just build up on this TA. And again, the lead hasn't been growing from Secret. Been at the steady 3k, so Entity's been able to farm at almost the same pace here.
So, close matchup here between the two. Up there by Stormer. Bottle. Put Gem up as well on the Ember. Problem with the meld from the TA anymore. Sure, is Pure. To show up, Rezo. Show off the Aghanim Scepter on the Tide Hunter. It really forced the fight here. Just a great position. So, fighting for the high ground. Stormer, he's still got the vision. In that Radiant Triangle. Poke and prod here at Secret. Now, find the ward. Actually, will do so, but double sentries, you know. Just in case.
Okay. You're never sure if the first sentry works out there, Mike. Gotta be ready with a backup. Roche, only a few seconds away, 20 seconds away. And Entity, they're looking to make something happen and maybe just swing onto that Roche.
Jump in, Pure, Dismember is there, Rezo. He'll be the first target. Hookback is there as well. Stormer, he'll move in, but Rezo proving to be a little bit too tanky and getting the stun into Nisha. Spear will not land. The BKB was there in time from Stormer. So far, so good for Entity. Not able to find the pickoff they wanted. They should be able to back off, or do they? Pure, he'll pop the BKB into the hook onto Reza with the Dismember. He gets purged off immediately, still they find the Tide. A great start. Now the Fiend's Grip, gonna hold down Nisha in his own arena, but Messiah, he's in with the blast off once again. Maybe saving the day for the secret, or maybe not. Crystallis, he'll try to go for a run, but he's dropping rather low now. Stormstormer, gonna be able to finish off the job. Oh, they keep trying to turn it around, but even Nisha getting caught out will be taken down. A massive win for the side of Entity.
They managed to play that really safe and really patiently. They waste the first arena. They forced Nisha to jump way far back for the second arena, kind of isolating everyone else. And there was no follow-through. Zayat comes in just a little bit too late. And with that kind of opening, Roche is open for them. Looks like Entity wants more.
Yeah, they do. They'll find Puppey and Zayat. He's going to jump in, but that's complete suicide. He does find Pure, though. He does end up finding Pure. It's worth.
It's definitely worth. That stops any chance of Roshan. That is all of Secret down, but it's not like Entity can do all too much with that. I mean, with the AC up on Toby, you could maybe try to poke and prod at Roshan, but it looks like they will. Toby just goes in, can kind of get that started with himself, probably hand the Ags over to Stormstormer, and that should start to make the high ground possibility, or at least some of these tier 2s. A lot of power still standing for both sides. We need to pierce through as we... Do you see that replay here?
Let's see how fast got these mines out. Puppey's definitely dead here. Pure him out, but there's the blast off and Zayat's very quick hands. You can't even see the remote mines coming in, and there you go. See you later. You'll love to see it, John.
Yeah, Techies is a hero, man.
Certainly is.
I mean, this is where it gets a little bit weird for Entity, right? As the game drags on, you know, the team fight, it's all about execution with the refreshes, with the BKBs, and the duration being down to 6 seconds. But the one key aspect Secret has for the high ground defense is that Techies. Because again, the minefield sign with invulnerable mines, how do you even pierce the high ground when that's down?
Not to mention the Gush Ags as well, right? Like,
oh, yeah.
It's very hard to go high ground when your creep wave's just being constantly forced back out, and could be a big advantage here trying to hold that high ground if it does come to it. Of course, Entity now taking over the net worth lead just by a little bit, less than 1k, but considering they're standing in the game, very happy days here for Entity. Just still up on Stormstormer as well. They want to try and get aggressive, controlling the rest of the map. Pings are out. Crystallis. Ping was exactly onto the TA. Their way over, slowly but surely here, Entity. Actually find him. Toby, knock the meld. Crystallis just realizing he has been spotted, will back his way out, and for now is going to be just fine.
Just a little bit of time wasted here from Entity Secret, getting the opportunity to split push top with Resolution. Shoving in, has 2 siege creeps up, clears out the creep wave just fine, forces out the Fortify. Not the biggest deal in the world for Entity, as if it does fall, they'll have a refresh, and doesn't look quite like Secret will try for the high ground yet.
Oh, they find him.
Oh no.
Crystallis ends up eventually getting taken down. Sometimes the patience does pay off. Now Entity, they can move confidently into that bottom tier 2 tower. Back mid lane, is there another team fight breaking out? It looks like they just maybe. Stormstormer will move in. They'll find Nisha, but they want Zayat's first Rezo. He gets in with the stun. They'll at least find the spinner Stormstormer. He can't stick around. He'll have to back his way out. They do force the buyback, though, out of Crystallis, and that's very, very worthwhile for Entity. You always trade your support spend for that.
Yeah, you're very happy right now on Entity. You managed to find Crystallis once more. That is definitely the high ground opening up, especially if you manage to maybe take care of Resolution as well. He's been very durable in the middle of these engagements, though, and it does feel like you don't quite have the damage yet on Entity. Maybe the Ags here on Toby kind of alleviates some of that. Can find the angle in with the Silent as the Grave here.
They're so desperate to try and get something out of this buyback, I think. They rush towards the Dire Triangle. Entity not going to give away the opening. Their way out.
What's that mean?
Allow anything to come out of it. I think the Havoc Hammer back, by the way, Jonathan. Great item.
He is. Comes back in. It's very good with a Pudge, of course. The strength, the damage, having that ability to knock people away. Although you kind of want to keep them close with your on. You've got a defensive option now here as well. Entity, 43 to 31. They managed to take that network lead back to themselves. Again, it was narrowed down to like 3k for a very long time, so it's been a really stable game. But they've got that slight edge now. They've got a lot of BKB Pierce. The execution from Secret has to be on point here, Mike. If they misuse one Ravage or one Arena, even with a refresh, just kind of gets a little bit harder to pull it off.
Short now available on Pure. Somehow not being spotted out yet on this his way out. Looks like he will. Instead, they'll focus on the Arcane Rune. The bottom side is... Oh, Courier, it's going to see if Zayats, he'll TP out, but Remnants fall, the chains are there. Oh, sometimes the Couriers, they give you that extra bit of value. Zayats, he will be punished.
Ah, man, he got tempted. You know, he saw one courier fly by, he didn't try to go for it. He goes for it this time, gets punished. And, you know, maybe it's some space bot out for Secret. They're on the opposite side of the map. They're farming up. They know that Entity's a bit far away, but they are going for a smoke play here.
Try. Chrysalis may get spotted first. In fact, I believe he was spotted there by the Visage. Obi. Puppy instead on the Ogre. That'll be a nice way to get this team fight started. The 4-staff away, trying to get his way out, but Pure's there. Nisha barely avoiding the hook there from Pure. The Puppy will go down. Familiar still giving plenty of vision here for the side of Entity. Nothing else going to come out of this, though. They might just try and secure another tower here, perhaps in the mid lane. Entity realizing they have the 5v3 advantage. Pure, maybe a blind hook to fly out. We'll throw... Oh, he was right on target as well. Nice reactions from Chrysalis to get his way out, but he was right on target.
He's got to be careful. Buyback still down for 5 minutes on that TA. The high ground push coming out from Entity. You've got a Visage. Sure, you've got Creep Wave clearing with the Tide, but those Familiars are fairly tanky here.
Tier 3 tower just not going to last Entity. They'll keep going. Here is out Nisha. He'll try to slow it down, but a nice hook away. Pure not going to allow it. Marina down now and Pure right back in onto the bars. Nisha's gone. Oh boy, things are getting very awkward now for Secret. They've got the buyback available on Nisha, but it's still a very hard Rax to defend. Eventually we'll go down, but Rezo, he'll jump in. There's your Ravage. There's a double Ravage out. Maybe this is the team fight. Storm is gone. Arena down as well. Nisha, he'll keep the fight going as Pure. He'll man up. He'll be a Giga Chat here in the mid lane. Look at this jump. The hill's coming out. Pure, he's not going to die. There goes Puppy as well. Rezo, he'll keep it going, but how do you keep this fight up? Zayats, he'll run, but GG's called. They have seen enough. Oh, what a game coming out. Game number 1 here between Secret and Entity. What a game it was, Jonathan.
Yeah, that's one way to end in style. You get that die back on Chrysalis. We mentioned he buybacks early, doesn't manage to...